Hey everybody, I want to talk to you about properties of logs, and we start off by looking at the product property. That pretty much means that if we have a log and then two things that are being multiplied, we can split that up to two things that are being added together. And now notice I went from one log over here, now I have two of them. I have log base x of a plus log base x of b. And that's important because I can go the other direction as well. So as long as I have two logs of the same base, I can take their insides, and if the outsides are being added, I can take the insides and multiply them. Next property we have is quotient. That means that if I have a log base x and then two things that are being divided, I can split that up to now subtraction. So I have log base x, because that's what it was originally, of a minus log base x of b. Then I go on to our power property, and that means that if I have log base b of m raised to another value, we'll call it p in this case, I can take that exponent on m and bring it all the way down in front. So now I have p log base b of m. And again, it works the other way as well. So if I have this p out in front, I can move it up and it becomes an exponent on the piece inside my log. Let's do some examples where we use those properties to solve some problems. Starting off with this one, we have log base 4 of 48 minus log base 4 of n, and that equals log base 4 of 6. So which properties do you think I'm going to have to use? Well, I have subtraction, so I am going to need to use, the quotient property. I'm using quotient property because subtraction is going to turn into division. So I'm going to keep my log base 4. Again, they're both log base 4, so I'm allowed to do this. I have 48 divided by the n. And that is all inside of one log now. My right side's not going to change. Now that I have the same log on both sides, and there's only one, that's very important that there's only one log on both sides. Those logs will cancel. I have 48 over n equals 6. I'm going to multiply by n on both sides. It cancels on my left. And now I'm left with 48 equals 6n. Divide by 6. 8 equals n. Just a real quick check. If I plug that back in, this one's going to be fine. This one's going to be fine because 8 is a positive number. And I'm allowed to take the logs of positive numbers. And then I have log base 4 of 6. That one is also still fine. So real quick check of that, and I know I'm good. Next one. This one's a lot more complicated. We're going to make sure we have to check our solutions at the end of this. So I start off by noticing I have two logs on the right side. I'm going to do whatever I can to combine those down into one. Can't do anything with my left yet. This 1/3 out in front, I could do something with that. Because I have something out in front, it could become an exponent on the stuff inside my log. So that's going to become log base 2 of 27 raised to the 1/3 plus log base 2 of 36. Well, I know what 27 to the 1/3 power is. It's power over root, so it's the third root of 27. Third root of 27 is 3. Now, I'm going to combine these two logs because they are the same type of log. They're both base 2, and there's nothing out in front. So I have log base 2 of n. What property am I going to use to combine these two? Well, it's going to be product since we have addition right now. So it's now 3 times 36. Well, 3 times 36 is 108. Now I have the same type of logs, so both base 2, and there's only one on each side, so they can cancel, and n equals 108. I should check that, so let's plug that back in. Log base 2 of 108. Okay, and then we have log base 2 of, well, I know that's a 3. Log base 2 of 36. Well, and I can combine these two things using the product property, and that still equals 108. 108 does equal log 2 of 108. Since those are both exactly the same, awesome, that one is good to go. Off to our next one. And we have to check our solutions on this one as well. We have several things going on the left. Notice though, they're all the same base. They're all log 7s. So I'm going to start off with just my first two. I have a 64 minus a log base 7 of 8 over 3. So that's going to become 64 over 8 over 3. Leaving that log base 7 of 2 off to the side until I simplify a little bit first. Well, let's simplify this one before we go any further. I have a fraction within a fraction, and that's not so great. 64 divided by 8 divided by 3. Since I have the fraction in the bottom, that's the same as multiplying by a regular 3. So 64 over 8. Instead of on the bottom, I'm dividing by a 1/3, I can multiply by a 3. Alrighty, now we can go a little bit further, and I can say these two things need to be multiplied because right now they're separated by a plus, and they're the same type of log. So now a log base 7, 64 times 3, now it's times 2 as well, divided by 8 equals log base 7, 4p. Notice I went from things that had 2 logs to now it only has 1 log. That's the goal with this. I want to first try and combine everything down so I have fewer logs. Then I'm going to try and have those logs cancel. P on the right, I divide by 4, I divide by 4. Now you can see it. And I have P equals 12. Not too bad, but now I have to check that really quick. And if I plug that in up front, or up top, 4 times 12, that's 48. I am allowed to have a positive number plugged in to a log, so we are good to go. That's it, folks. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please click that like button down below. I try and organize all of this on my classroom website too, which is mrclayhartzler.weebly.com. Hopefully this was helpful. Have a great day, folks.